So, I keep, going back and watching the recent Bronies React, which I highly recommend. If you guys have not seen Bronies React's latest reaction video on My Little Pony: A New Generation, I recommend you go out and you do that right now. You go onto YouTube, after you watch this, I'll pause this video right now, go onto YouTube and watch Bronies React's a recent reaction to New Generation. It's over 2 hours long, but it is worth watching, maybe in parts or something like that, because it is great. To see the reaction and I know it's not a big deal or anything, but see their approval at the fact that, hey, this is something that we can give a chance to, is awesome. It is just tremendously awesome. But it was during the reaction video where they were talking about Pipp and Hitch. And of course, at first they were not too keen on Pipp because they're like, okay, what role is she going to play? What kind of character she's going to play? And as I said before in the video, when you look at Pipp, you look at a character similar in some ways to Rarity. Alright? And because here's the thing, when Rarity debuted, everybody was not too sure about her. Alright? Nobody was too sure about Rarity because she was very fashionistic. She was a diva in a sense. They felt like, oh, she's going to be someone like, oh, she chips a hoof, she's going to scream and everything, go like, wee, I chipped a hoof, and everybody's going to get annoyed and stuff. She's going to be the whiny complainer, right? Well, as season 1, season 2, and all the other seasons, went forward, Rarity proved everybody, wrong. All the doubters about her wrong, because she proved, basically, she was more than that. She was more than just a pretty face. She was more than a fashionista. She was more of a diva, if you will. Yes, she could get caught up in some of the wrong crowd or some of the wrong influences at times, but overall, she, basically proved that she was more than what she seemed. I mean, you look at the fact that, she's the element of generosity, and your thought is, why is she the element of generosity when she's all this? And then she proves to you why she is. And, to me, it's very similar to Pipp. I look at Pipp, and everybody's reaction to her at first is, well, not the fact that she's small and that's why she has the name Pipp, if you will. That because she's small in stature. But, a lot of them looked at her at first and are like, what point is this character going to have? What's her purpose and everything? And as you watch the movie, you slowly see her progress a little bit into something more, but we've not seen exactly what that more is. And as I've said before, I think when we get to the animated series, we get to the specials upcoming very soon, we're going to start seeing that side of Pipp where, people will be like, when it's all said and done, oh my gosh, she's very similar to how Rarity started out, or how we viewed Rarity in the first place when we first saw her. She's more than what she seems. And I think that's what's going to happen with her. We're going to see her, because, like I said, we started seeing that growth a little bit throughout the movie. And I think what's going to happen in the upcoming specials in the series, like I said, you're going to see that growth start to really blossom into something more than you could have expected. Because you could have easily had Pipp be complaining and angry and everything that her show got canceled, that her and her royal family were ousted as fakes and all that. You could have had it be like that for the rest of the movie, but you didn't. You had her basically develop into something a little bit more, show that there is more to her than what we saw initially. And to me, that lays the groundwork for her to be the next Rarity. Her to be the Rarity of this group, to where, like I said, people thought Rarity wasn't going to contribute that much to the show as a main character, as the element of generosity, even wondering why she got that element. And yet, lo and behold, 9 seasons later, she proves everybody wrong about why she is the element of generosity, and that's the fact that she's more than what she seems. So I like that. I like the fact that we're going to we have a character like that starting out very similar to how Rarity started out in the eyes of fans. Now, as far as Hitch goes, I think a lot of us are kind of happy that the main group has a male in there right now. We're going to probably get another male in Sprout. There's no doubt about that. Or else we'll get somebody differently. I don't know. But, the reason I like Hitch is because of the fact that even before he gets some massive character development in the movie, he's very understanding of Sunny. Like here's the thing. When he tells Sunny, basically, he has that talk with her after the fiasco at Cantalogic. When he talks to her and says, "Look, I'm the only friend you have left. Do you really want to lose me too?" When he asks her that question, yeah, a lot of people might say that's a dick move and all that, personally, but you could sense in a way when he's talking to her in that moment before asking that question, you can see that he is accepting, that he's willing to hear her out, but he also knows that the position he's in as sheriff, he's got to keep up, a reputation. He's got to keep up an image. He's got a reputation to maintain, and that image and reputation is to go along with what the populace believes. In other words, if the populace believes unicorns and pegasi are bad, he's got to go along with it, even though you could tell a part of him kind of agrees with Sunny that maybe this whole, dissension between the races is not everything it's cracked up to be. Like, there's got to be a reason for it, the reason for it of happening, or basically a reason for it happening, I should say, or happened in the past. He's basically, what I'm trying to say, and I know I'm fumbling my words here, I do apologize. He's basically just to sum it up, he's basically very understanding, he's more accepting of what Sunny is trying to point out, but because of the position he's in, it's hard for him to do that, because he's got to keep up this image and this reputation. And what happens in this movie, especially when he joins up with them finally, joins up with Sunny and Zip and Izzy and Pipp and all that, what happens, just like with Pipp, he starts to go through more character development to where he starts kind of being more accepting of the fact that, hey, my friend is going on this long-ass journey, excuse my language, God, but she's going on this long-ass journey, along with this unicorn to try to, restore magic and, make everybody realize that, hey, we were always meant to be together as friends. That, he starts realizing that maybe there's something to it than just maybe, fabrication, or maybe what other Earth ponies were led to believe. I like that part of his character development, that he sees how far she's willing to have gone to realize, okay, obviously there's something to this whole, all pony races are meant to be together kind of deal, in the end. So I like that character development of his. I like it. I even like the fact that he still kind of keeps a little bit of that, reputation, I guess you could say groundship, if you will, doing the Fit Right In song, when he's basically like, he's mentioning that, disguising himself as a new low, stealing this crystal is a new low kind of deal. And then he's singing his part of, what they were always meant to believe about unicorns and stuff. And then he sings the other part of, if we fail, we go to prison. I like the fact that even in this song, and he's also, that during it, he's willing to accept having to disguise himself as a unicorn and act like a unicorn and, go and try to find a crystal to go along with the crystal that was in Greenhaven's crown. I like the fact that even during that song, he tries to keep a little bit of that, what's the word I'm looking for, that seniorism, or not seniorism, basically he tries to keep a little bit of that belief still in there of, not the fact that, something that pony races should be separated, they shouldn't interact with each other, but I like the fact that he's, having that bit of basically that ground, like I said, groundmanship, if you will, trying to stay in reality. Like, hey, if we fail here, we're going to go to jail, basically, from his mindset, from his point of view, I should say. Even though he's willing to go along with it to try to kind of probably help prove his friend right, that hey, there has to be something more here than what's being let on, and and I like that. I really like that, if you will. I really like that character development of his, that, like I said, he sees how far Sunny has gone, to, along with Izzy and then these other ponies, to, basically prove that, all pony races are supposed to be together, and that, magic might be the reason as to why, they're not together and everything, and they're blaming each other and all that. You know, I like the fact that his character development, you know, is the fact that he sees how far she's willing to go, that he's now going to go along with her, not only to escort her home in case something happens, but also he's willing to accept the fact that, hey, what I kind of agreed with her since we were, you know, smaller, since we were kids with, to an extent, and even up to adulthood, maybe there is truth to it. And I like that, even though he keeps his cynicism, if you will, that's the word I'm trying to look for, during the song to fit right in, I like the fact that he's still willing to go along. And that even when they think they failed and all that, he's willing to still hear Sunny out, talk to her, kind of comfort her and everything. I like that. And I like the fact that, you know, he, you know, that, you know, during this character development, you know, he's, you know, when they confront Sprout with what's going on, and he brings up the fact that, look, they don't even have magic, so I don't know why you're doing this. And, you know, the other Earth ponies are like, oh, thank God. You know, I like the fact that I like the fact that basically his development has gotten to that point that, you know, even though he's willing to accept that, yes, all pony races should be together, we shouldn't be separated no matter what the situation, I like the idea that, you know, I like the idea that it's, you know, he's growing from it. I mean, he grew from it, basically. He grew from, you know, being doubtful about it, you know, to, you know, keep public image and his reputation going, to the point that he's willing to accept it and even acknowledge, hey, look, I've been around them. They have no magic. And with him saying that, you have the other ponies, you know, being like, hey, we still trust this guy. This guy's our sheriff. We'll believe him, if you will. So, what I'm trying to say, I know I'm fumbling my words here. I'm trying to do this before my mom gets home in a little bit. I just like the overall development that he had throughout his part in the movie. Him and Pipp, I think, between all 5 characters, him and Pipp, I think, had the best character developments. Pipp, again, like I said, I think you really got to keep an eye on her, basically going into the specials and into the series, because she's like another Rarity. Because just like with Rarity, everybody thought, oh, she's not going to contribute, she's not going to be much, and yet, you know, 9 years later, 9 seasons later, you know, she proves everybody wrong. Even in the comics, she proved everybody wrong. So to me, Pipp is in that same category. You know, she's got that development. And Hitch, to me, is in the category of, he's like an Applejack. You know, I could see him basically developing over time like she did. You know, and being more than what he seemed. And you know, as things go on. Like, again, him being willing to accept, you know, kind of believe, kind of agree with Sunny, you know, at the same time that he's got to keep up his reputation and image, I think is a great start to it. And then seeing how far she's willing to go and going along with her, even still keeping his cynicism, if you will, even during this Fit Right In song, I thought was a good moment. And I thought him willing to be a shoulder that Sunny could cry on or talk to, you know, after they think they failed and everything. Basically admitting that, you know, she is right, that the fact that they all should be together, and he saw it with his own eyes. You know, I think it's a great moment. And I think it's a great character development moment for him in the movie, and I see more of that coming for him in the near future. So again, got to give a shout out to Bronies React on this. You know, they, you know, for not only doing a reaction video to the movie, but basically pointing out some things that they felt, you know, could be developed or going to be further developed further on in the specials and the movies. I got to give them credit for that. Like I said, you know, they may have not been a fan of Pipp, but I think the same could be said for them when they weren't a fan of Rarity when she first appeared, and now look at, you know, them look at that years later. So like I said before in the video, don't sleep on Pipp. And I think the character development, you know, throughout the film, as little as it was, I thought was great. And it's just a building blocks to what we're going to see later on. And Hitch, I thought his character development throughout was great. You know, the way, you know, his character was positioned. And I could see further development for him in the future with the specials and the series. But what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts of the character development we got with Pipp, the little that we did with her? Do you think she's in the position of a Rarity, where, you know, at first Rarity started out, nobody was sure about her, weren't fans of her, and then boom, all of a sudden that all changed? Do you think Pipp's in that same position? Because I do. And what about Hitch? Did you like Hitch's development? throughout the movie? And do you think we'll see more of that, maybe similar to an Applejack character development, as the specials and series head towards our way this year? Let me know down below in the comments and in the live chat during the premiere. And super chats and super stickers are open and appreciated in the live chat during the premiere, if you guys can do that. $1 to $5 don't matter. Either way, be appreciative. Also, check me out at BW Rose's Discussions, all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora. Also, check me out at VENMO at BW Roses for content you can't get anywhere else due to copyright reasons. Also, check me out at Venmo at Brian-Walmer-2 to help me there financially if you can. And also check me out at patreon.com/BWRoses to help support me with a $1, $3 tier. And check me out at my Teespring store for merchandise as well, which will really help out in the end. But until next time, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the live chat and in the comments below. And I'm out.